Hello and welcome to the Discover SIGNOVA with dStudio video in the SIGNOVA series. In this tutorial, I will use a simple classification task to show you the general process, how to collect images using the SIG cameras and SIGNOVA, then continue in the AI cloud service dStudio, showing how to upload, manage, annotate, train and evaluate the data, and eventually run the final inspection on the camera. The advantages over the Train on Device option include the ability to define more classes trained on a large amount of images that can originate from different devices, as well as increased accuracy and higher speed. Additionally, the use of the cloud service allows several users to collaborate on complex projects. I again use the chocolate bar samples. In this general introduction to dStudio, I simply classify the chocolates by their variant. In the following tutorials, I will use dStudio for more challenging tasks. I use an Inspector 830, mounted parallel to the table with a distance of around 40 centimeters. The camera is powered up and connected to my laptop using the USB-C service interface. To access the user interface, open a web browser like Microsoft Edge and enter the default IP address of the USB connection 169.254.0.1. Let's start solving this application from scratch. So I select the empty job and confirm with Create. My device is equipped with an Intelligent Inspection Toolkit license, so I can use all tools, including the AI tools, unrestricted. The currently licensed toolkit is stated in the bottom left of the user interface. If you have installed a Quality Inspection Toolkit license, the AI tools, including dStudio Networks, can still be tested for a trial period. Once satisfied with the trial results, just order the Intelligent Inspection Upgrade license for unlimited use and unlock the network in dStudio. At the top right, you can see I'm already in configure mode to apply tools and adjust them. To see the live image, click the play button below the image. Place the chocolate at the expected position within the field of view. I stop the live mode. Let's apply the AI classification dStudio tool. At Analysis on the left, select Add Tool, Classify and AI Classification dStudio. Now let's collect the images from my inspector. You can either collect single images or multiple images at once. To save a single image, click the Download Current Image button below the live image. We recommend the MV2 format, which supports calibrated images. For multiple images, I use the separate software SIGNOVA recording tool to directly save them to my PC. It is also possible to record images to the internal camera storage, SD card or FTP server. Download the portable SIGNOVA recording tool from the SIG support portal and start it. The program will automatically search for connected devices. Select the Inspector 830 from the list, choose a storage folder on your PC, select the file format and click Start Recording. Now, as soon as the camera captures a new image, it is automatically downloaded and saved to the defined folder. Back in Nova, I use the trigger button to manually capture new images. Place and move the different chocolate bars around to capture the dataset for the classification task. Let's switch to dStudio, the SIG AI cloud service for the creation of advanced, really powerful neural networks. We categorize our collected images and train the AI to sort objects into various classes. Open dstudio.cloud.sig.com, click on Launch dStudio and sign in using your SIG ID, the email address of your free of charge SIG user account. As all other SIGNOVA AI features, dStudio can be tested free of charge. I'm now in the Overview tab and select Create Domain. A domain is a topic-specific collection of data, in my case images of chocolate bars. So I name the domain Chocolate Bars. I want to sort different chocolate types, so my primary use case is classification. I confirm with Create Domain. I create classes for each chocolate bar type I want to identify. The AI classification dStudio tool will classify every captured image into these predefined classes. If I capture an unknown object, for example a super dark chocolate, it will forcibly return one of the trained classes. So make sure to prepare classes for all needed variants. To also detect the absence of our chocolates, I create an additional empty class and capture several images of empty backgrounds. To stop the image collection, click Stop Recording in the SigNova recording tool and switch back to dStudio. Now I upload the unsorted images to Unclassified. Therefore, click on Browse Folders and locate the folder with the previously saved images and upload them to the cloud. This might take some time. As soon as the images are uploaded, it is time to assign them to the created classes, so we annotate them. You can choose between detail annotation and grid annotation. The grid annotation tool allows you to see and annotate 15 images at once. This can be very efficient for datasets with a lot of images belonging to the same class. On the other hand, the detail annotation tool displays each image in large to annotate one after the other. This is useful if you need to see small details or each image belongs to a different class. I choose Detail Annotation. In the annotation window, you see a list of hotkeys that can be used to efficiently annotate and operate the process using your keyboard. Keys on the left-hand side are used to select the classes. On the right-hand side, the arrow and enter keys are used to navigate between images and save the annotation. It is not necessary to always annotate all data. In my classification example, the 3 chocolate variants are quite easy to distinguish. So it should be sufficient to start with annotating about 20 images of each type. In case the results are not as expected, I can always add and annotate more images later. For efficiency reasons, we recommend to increase the number of annotated images stepwise, until a sufficient number is reached. Very complex projects can require many thousand annotated images. To share the annotation efforts between multiple people, select Members on the left, enter their SIG ID and confirm with Add. Change the role to Annotator and confirm with Save. They will directly receive an email with an invitation link to join the domain as Annotator. Once done with the annotation, click Open in dStudio. Here you can see an overview of all classes and their annotated images. In the next step, I will create a collection of all images annotated up to now called Snapshot. To do so, each class needs to be filled with at least one image. We recommend to upload and annotate at least 20 images for each class, as 80% of these images will be used for training the neural network and 20% are reserved for evaluation. For larger datasets, also a subset of annotated images can be used. I enter Chocolate Bars Snapshot 1 as the name and click Create Snapshot. Depending on the number of selected images, it might take some time to prepare the snapshot, but often it's done in just a few seconds. Now let's create a project defining the parameters for the AI training. Once the snapshot has been created, click Create Project. In the augmentation step, predictable changes like movement, rotation and brightness changes can be configured to improve training robustness by emulating additional images. As the default settings are optimized for most cases, I will go with that option. In the network settings, choose a classification network that you want to train with your annotated images. Again, I use the recommended option Medium and click Next. To start the AI training, enter the project name and select Create Project. The training process is now started. It usually takes between 15 and 30 minutes. This might seem long compared to on-device training, but you will benefit from faster and more accurate decisions in production. The neural network will be optimized thousands of times until the results are no longer improving and stop automatically. The graph displays the iteration steps on the horizontal axis and the accuracy on the vertical axis, showing how precise the network can classify both the training and evaluation images. We expect the graph to quickly converge towards a high accuracy. If the accuracy stays below your expectations, consider the following list. Are all annotations correct? Is the number of images sufficient? Are the classes clearly distinguishable in all cases? Are changing backgrounds or other variations distracting the AI? Is the image cropped to show only the relevant area? We generally recommend to view the evaluation results, since these can reveal the reasons for accuracies that stay behind expectations. Once completed, it's time to evaluate the trained network with the reserved evaluation images. Click on the Evaluate tab. Here you can see how accurately the neural network can deal with a given task. In this step, the reserved evaluation images are analyzed by the neural network. The result of the neural network is then compared to the manual annotation. Ideally, the result is exactly the same. When using one of the other dStudio workflows, like object finding or anomaly detection, the evaluation page will look different. I will explain this in more detail in the following dStudio tutorials. As the last step, I deploy the trained neural network to the Inspector 830, where the classification runs offline directly on the camera. For productive use, click the Unlock Project button, which requires either a dStudio token for a single model or a dStudio subscription. I use my active dStudio subscription to unlock and download the full network as a JSON file. Now let's upload the network to my Inspector 830. Switch back to the SIGNOVA tab. Click on Upload Network in the AI Classification dStudio tool and select the JSON file. The device will start to classify the current image right away. Let's test it in free running mode. Nut chocolate, correct. Dark chocolate and white chocolate, or classified correctly. Wow, the neural network is running directly on the device. You can find additional dStudio tutorials in the help section of dStudio. This was a first overview to show you the general workflow of SIGNOVA and dStudio. I will further explain the use of the AI Classification dStudio tool, as well as other AI tools in the following dStudio tutorials. The powerful combination of SIGNOVA and dStudio offers many options to solve even challenging applications. If you can't wait to get started, get in touch with your local SIG sales representative now to find out more about the incredible world of SIGNOVA.